We're learning more tonight about a local man who kept a dozen young women captive in a boarded-up Avondale home.
Federal prosecutors say he was selling the girls for sex. Local 12's Brad Underwood joins us now with how police caught him. Brad?
It was a massive investigation, Rob. Federal, state, and local investigators busted this wide open after Christopher Hisle was arrested in Louisville during a prostitution sting at a motel. It was then that the investigation led them to Avondale, where they found a dozen women being held, waiting to be sold. Facing multiple charges, including sex trafficking, 45-year-old Christopher Hisle pleaded guilty to the crimes. Hisle admits not only to locking women up in this home in Avondale, but driving them more than 100 miles to Louisville to pimp them out. On Lexington Avenue, some residents say they're afraid to report what's happening on their block.
We have to live. We want to live. It can get very dangerous and we'll be killed. It just needs surveillance. It needs a lot of surveillance.
Others just don't seem to care. One man says he knew what Hisle was doing but didn't report it because it didn't affect him. The man also says the trafficking was going on for years.
Because a lot of times they're afraid that, okay, I might try to help her, then he comes to kill me, and then I don't know what to do once I encounter her. And so we're really educating the community on what it looks like.
Cincinnati City Council member Yvette Simpson says it's public education and the increase of police cooperation in fighting sex trafficking that leads to busts like this. While street-level enforcement is working, Simpson says it's online tracking of websites like Craigslist and Backpage that help too.
Women are being trafficked up and down highways. So the good thing is by doing these Backpage stings, we can see movement of women to many different places and then be able to track down the men who are trafficking them.
In his plea agreement, Hisle admits beating several of the women that he kept as slaves. On one occasion, investigators say one woman even escaped, but was brought back to the home by Hisle. Now, Hisle faces a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison. That sentencing is set for February 9th of 2015 in Louisville. Now, as a part of his plea agreement, Hisle will pay restitution to 12 women that have been identified as victims. Rob?
Brad, thanks very much. The Anna Louise Inn offers services for women through its Off the Street program, they call it. That number is 513-768-6907. We have links to other resources for you at local12.com.